Good morning, world. Welcome to another episode of Independently Minded. If you are a new or returning listener, I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you're interested in more content like this and podcasts in the future, then please stay tuned because it's only going to get better from here. The world is in our hands. Let's do something with it. Thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of MMA Minded. This is my 10th episode of MMA Minded. I've really enjoyed doing these episodes, talking about UFC, MMA, boxing, because it's one of my favorite sports. Combat sports is one of the most captivating, exciting, and you can never really predict what's going to happen in stuff like this, in a sport like this. But I wanted to welcome you guys back. I know it's been a couple weeks since I did a podcast. Been a little busy, with the holidays, spending time with my family, figuring stuff out with work. A little stressful there. Same with school, a little stressful there, figuring stuff out, but I'm back, and I'll be back to my regular routine of uploading once or twice a week, and I hope you guys enjoy. So on this episode of MMA Minded, I just wanted to talk about, just as a Conor McGregor fan, you guys know me, just an ideal roadmap for Conor in 2020, because as he said, fighting coming up, his coach John Kavanagh said that he's been talking about it in gym sessions, wrestling sessions, striking sessions, sparring, all that stuff as a season. And I think this next season, he plans on fighting 3 times in 2020. And I wanted to kind of lay out the ideal roadmap for his 3 fights in 2020. Obviously, one is already locked in. He's going to be fighting Donald Cerrone in a couple weeks. I believe it's 13 days. It's going to be the 19th, morning of the 19th here in Germany. Obviously, the ideal outcome for that fight is for Conor to beat Donald Cerrone. I think he's going to beat him. Most people do, but you never know. Like I said earlier, combat sports are very unpredictable, and Donald Cerrone can pull off an upset. He's not some pushover. I think it's funny that Justin Gaethje has been really upset. His manager Ali Abdelaziz has been upset because they're like, why are you taking this easy fight in Donald Cerrone? I'm like, who did you just fight, Justin Gaethje? You just fought him. If he's such an easy fight, why did you just fight him? But obviously, it's ideal for Conor to beat Donald Cerrone. And for me, I would love to see Conor fight Justin Gaethje in the summer. Justin Gaethje obviously is looking for an opponent. I was hoping to see him fight Kevin Lee. That was a matchup that I had been tweeting at Dana White saying, nobody's been talking about this. Kevin Lee, Justin Gaethje, let's go. But it looks like Kevin Lee is either already agreed to and signed the contract to fight Islam Makhachev. That's going to be a tough fight for him, but I think he can pull it off, especially moving over to Canada, training with GSP and Firas Zahabi. That being said, I would love to see Conor fight Justin Gaethje. Justin Gaethje's been talking a lot of smack to Conor, and Conor hasn't really given him much attention. I think all he said at him was LOL, because he thinks it's kind of funny. He's taking everything so personally, but I would love to see them fight. Justin Gaethje is a very, very, very big pace setter. He pushes forward. He always walks forward. And Conor is also a pace setter, but he's a really good counter puncher, and I think that would... These styles, stylistically, it's a great matchup, I think, because Conor could definitely put Gaethje to sleep with his left-hand counter ability. So, Justin Gaethje as Conor's second opponent for 2020 would be what I think is best. As far as the last fight for Conor, in the ideal roadmap that I have set for him, is to fight the winner of Khabib and Tony Ferguson. So, in my prediction, I don't remember if I made an actual official prediction on this podcast of UFC 249 between Khabib and Tony Ferguson, but I am predicting that Tony Ferguson is going to beat him via submission. I think he's going to get him in a leg lock, probably in the second or third round. That's my official prediction. If I haven't already done a real breakdown of that fight, and I'll probably do an Intangibles episode for that one, along with John Jones and Dominic Reyes. I wish Dominic Cruz was fighting. But anyways, I would love to see a Conor Khabib rematch, because I think Khabib got lucky. a lot of people will give me crap for it because I'm a huge Conor fan and I'm biased towards him. And I'll lean towards him always. But I think Khabib fought the worst Conor McGregor we've ever seen. If he was to have fought the hungry and just on top of his game focused Conor McGregor, not the distracted one that he fought back in October of 2018, I don't think Khabib could get away from that with a victory. He would have a loss. He would have one tally in his loss column, and I would love to see them rematch. But I also would love to see Conor fight Tony Ferguson, because Tony Ferguson is another guy that has taken shots. He's gotten knocked down, but he's always succeeded and come from some tough situations. So, that being said, I would love to see Conor obviously beat Donald Cerrone, fight Justin Gaethje in the summer, and then in the late fall or winter, maybe the end of the year show, see Conor either rematch Khabib or fight Tony Ferguson. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to this episode of MMA Minded in Zendependently Minded. The world is in our hands. Let's do something with it.